Hello, and welcome to Puzzlers Anonymous. My name is Kevin, and I'm a puzzle addict, and I have an agenda today. Not like a political agenda, just an agenda of things to get done. I got 3 things I want to do in this video, so I'm going to crank right to it. So first off, I had a housewarming party a few days ago. It was very lovely. Had some people here to show off the house. A house rewarming party, because I already lived here. But then my partner Gina moved in, as you already know, because the last video when she scraped her knee. But yeah, we had a party, and my friends got me a cool gift that I was going to text them about how I loved it, but then I was like, wait, they watch this channel, and I just figured I'd show it on here. So I got the Crossword Puzzler's Handbook, which is pretty neat. It is a reference guide. It's basically a bunch of like specific stuff that shows up in crossword puzzles. So I talk a lot about like crosswordese terms, like is like a language crosswordese, and that's like terms that come up in crosswords very, very often. Like Oreo is in like every other crossword. This is not quite that. This is like obscure things that you don't see that often, but you see a lot in crosswords, probably represented more in crosswords than in real life. Very specific things. Though, just opening it up right now, the first one I saw is Jane Addams, and it's like, hello, I know Jane Addams. I lived in Chicago. General So, that's classic. So maybe the historical figure section is not as obscure. But yeah, so it has just a bunch of like terms that are obscure. I don't think this would be very useful as a guide while you're solving a crossword, unless you knew a specific, like I'm trying to look up a person. This would be more like something you would flip through and sort of memorize to prepare you for a crossword. Which maybe I'll never do, because I've been saying for years that I'm going to learn the Greek alphabet, which is only like 14 letters, and I still haven't done it. Is the Greek alphabet in here? I see German, Greek, and Latin. Page 144. I mean, it's got a bunch of Greek terms. Iota is in there. Eta is in there. Okay, it does. I think every Greek letter of the alphabet is represented, but it doesn't have it as a single reference. I also learned this morning the term isthmus, which we love around here because Madison, Wisconsin is an isthmus, is just the Greek word, or it's based on the Greek word for neck, the ancient Greek word for neck. There was a famous isthmus in Greece. I guess there still is. And it was just named like the neck, which then isthmus is actually like the Latin translation of that Greek word, or the Latin version of that Greek word. That's where we get isthmus from Greek. So that's agenda item number 1. Agenda item number 2 is this new puzzle on Puzzmo that I've been loving called Circuits. It's just, I'm enamored with it. It's the first puzzle I do every morning. So before I do today's, to show it off, I'm going to show you yesterday's, just to give you the idea. Ooh, this is so much more like readable on a computer than on my phone. But anyways, I think there's been other puzzles like this where you kind of complete a phrase and they string together. But what I really like about this one is it's in different shapes each time. It kind of does this thing where it'll be like, so these ones that are marked here are the ones that were not filled in at the beginning. So it's like you have a phrase coming into it and a phrase coming out of it. So we had what's the, and 22, I was able to figure out that was catch. These bolts here are ones that you get hints on. You have the ability to ask for a certain amount of letters, but then they take a time to recharge, so you just don't crank through them. As you might see when I try to solve today, I don't have a lot of patience for not knowing the answer to this. If it doesn't come to me right away, I'm gonna use clues, which is good because we still have a whole nother crossword to get through after that. So yeah, let's go to today and do the circuits. Another cool thing with Puzzmo recently is they've had a series of minis which can fill the gap now that the New York Times paywalled the mini for the people who aren't paying, but it's also designed to teach you how to do crosswords pretty well. So let's go into this promo and name. Gosh, I don't know that one, but I do know Here Be Dragons, which also goes to, I've had it up to here. Yeah, Here Be Dragons is like on old maps when they didn't know where to go or what was in a certain location. So a fun thing with circuits is you got to follow the arrows, because you'll see here does not connect to this one at all. This one does not have a line from there. Oh, don't zoom on me, mouse, from tapping. Is this just let's go? Like let's go and then go here? I don't think go here is really a phrase. Yeah. I'm actually kind of drawing a blank on this. This could be eyeliner and eyeline. Yeah, they like to do this where they have like similar ones. There was a funny one yesterday where it's like one led to so and so and so. That wasn't yesterday because I showed you yesterday, maybe 2 days ago. Okay, what leads into eye and carpet? This is just red eye, red carpet. Boom. Okay. Okay, so we still need something that comes from let's, goes into here and goes to red. C. Let's see here, see red. Yeah, we're good there. Okay, now we just need this. Promo. What goes into name? What comes after promo? Promo code, code red, and code name. Yeah, I think I got this without any bolts. Nice. Kind of took me a while, but also I was talking through it. So, I don't know, not too bad. 1:56, and it is the evening right now. So, hey, I feel good about it. Time 1:38. Didn't have to use any bolts. That's probably one of my better scores ever. Cool. So, on to the crossword. And this one I chose. So, I've been wanting to get into updating more than once every 6 months. I had a lot of fun on the last one, and you know, I was reminded that quite a few people watch that aren't just Gina. So even though she lives here now, there's other people who are interested in this. So I've been looking for ones to get into. Should I do more Monday downs only? Should I do harder ones like Thursdays or Friday? Let me know in the comments. Like and subscribe. Get that engagement. But as I was looking through my puzzles yesterday, the Wordle and all that, I noticed on the crossword that it was by Nick Offerman. And I was like, what the hell? And there was also this note, more information about the making of today's puzzle appears in the Times Daily crossword column, which I looked at. I didn't read too deep into it. I only read the first paragraph, just far enough to see them say, Nick Offerman, yes, that one. I'll bring it up again. So yeah, they're doing this. So yeah, we'll look at this. So I read just to where it says Nick Offerman, yes, that one. And I was like, okay, I'm going to do the puzzle. Then I'm going to read about it. But yeah, this is very interesting. Everyone loves Nick Offerman from his many talents. I see he's also assisted by Christina Iverson, frequent crossword contributor and collaborator. So, you know, you don't expect celebrities to be great crossword writers, no offense, but it makes sense that he had an assist. When I told Gina about this, she said, I wonder if it'll be easier than usual because he's not like a crossword guy. And I said, I think it'll be typical Wednesday difficulty because like he had an assist from Christina and it was edited by Will, so we'll see. I'll also mention I have a friend who is a comedian and a writer. He does freelance writing for the Isthmus here in town. We've already talked about the Isthmus as a physical being, but there's like a cultural newspaper, the Isthmus, and my friend gets to interview a lot of comedians. So always a fun discussion point is, you know, what are these people like? And he often comes back to the story of how much interviewing Patton Oswalt was a fucking nightmare, and just that guy was the worst. We were talking about it again about, you know, I don't know, maybe he just had a bad day, but also like your job is just talking to people. It's like not that hard. I know a lot of people complain about like the interview circuit where you do interview after interview after interview, but it's also like if your job's talking to people, like you can handle it. But we were talking about other celebrities who were like more gracious, people who like, you know, they had an allotted time of 30 minutes for an interview and they went like 45 minutes. And one of the names that came up was Nick Offerman. He said that Nick Offerman was a delight to talk to, went over time just chatting about life, was really like funny and interesting and curious about him as an interviewer. So that makes me even more excited to dive into this puzzle by Mr. Offerman. All right. This is going to be a themed clue. Really spectacular drill component. Oh my gosh, is this going to be all woodworking stuff? I should have known. The Ron Swanson thing, like, the Ron Swanson character as being this, like, weird right-winger, like, that is exaggerated, but everything else about him is, like, true. Like, the Scotch whiskey, the woodworking, those are, like, Nick Offerman's real hobbies. So this is going to be woodworking shit. But I don't know the answer. Really spectacular drill component. Or is it going to be drill like a military thing? Lively kind of saw for cutting intricate shapes. Well, it's going to be some of the jig, right? Because like lively, the jig. I actually got a jigsaw recently to put in a cat door. An internal cat door. I don't let my cat outside, but I let her get to the porch. Okay, yeah, it's all going to be saw stuff. That's fun. Not saw stuff, but woodworking stuff. Truly awesome implement for ensuring stability. It's awesome, connected to auger somehow. I don't know woodworking shit. This is going to be a disaster. Ideal instrument for shaping wood surfaces. Yeah, I don't know. Something you might exclaim when talking about those 4 themed clues. I don't know. Let's figure out this one first. From the Downs. From the Crossings. Scratch. It could be money. Yeah, I'm going to say moolah right off the bat because it's like slang for money. Let's see where we go from there. Visibly afraid. Shaking. Shaky. Could be shaky. Long. I don't know. Relative to the chickadee. Well, how many songbirds have 3-letter names? I feel like it's got to be a wren, right? Is it R-E-N? Let's put it in. See what happens. Comfort. Ease. I don't know. Description of an online image. Alt text. That's what you put in there so that like a screen reader can tell you what the image is. Hero lifeguards as one example. I got no idea. I've been doing like too many Mondays. It's been a while since I've actually done sort of middle of the week stuff. These aren't like super hard, but I'm like having to think about it more than I normally do. Secure again as a door. It's going to be lock. I want to say relatch, but obviously that's not the right amount of letters. Race with an anchor. That's a relay. And the anchor is the person who goes at the end. Okay. So then you might explain when I'm talking about this. It's giving me something tool. But yeah, what's an exclamation around tools? What a tool. That could actually be it. We'd have to change both of those, but I didn't feel super confident about it either. What could be a tiny bird? Starts with a T. I don't know. Set up a new bird feeder right outside the window over here, and Juniper was loving it. Okay. Can I get anything in this? Protection. Armor. Armor would work. Medium-term government security. Is that a HELOC? That's like a home loan. Does that come from the internet, the government? What would we have if we had armor and then HELOC? Yeah, I know a lot of friends who got HELOCs during lockdown, and it feel like it's connected to a government thing. It's home improvement line of credit. What would this be? This would be nothing, right? And then long, yeah. That's nothing. Long arm is like long arm of the law. I don't know if armor even works for protection. I don't know if moolah even works. Like, what if we were going to do... I feel like what a tool is the only exclamation that actually would work here. What a tool. That's not really that much of a phrase. Nick, this is a bad puzzle. I'm kidding. Okay, we know that these are right because we got banishes exile. This is probably ever. Always is ever. It's probably sky down here. Cerulean expanse. I like that. Yeah, I was going to say MCA. Maybe this is RCA. Here are lifeguards. Saviors. So it's RCA. We can go off in that direction, but I really wish I could get something with this. Protection, I don't know. That one I still don't know. I feel like we're going to get the revealer last now. Okay, well, let's do this theme clue because we can still work around that revealer and see if we get anything. Blank, what, blank. Don't know. Dude, might be bro. I feel like it's been clued and answered that way before, but this is like, you'd be saying like, dude. It's like, you could say like, bro. I think so. Humorist who describes his stint working as a Macy's Christmas elf in Santaland Diaries. Sedaris. I always remember his sister's name. Be Amy. Is that his sister? Cousin? Who knows? I think sisters. Is it David? That one? Probably. Shape and wood surfaces. I don't know. Overact. I want to say emote, but I don't associate emoting with overacting and just like acting. Like intense acting, but not like too much. Area of greatest danger. I don't know. Efficiency stat not needed in an EV. That would be miles per gallon, and EV is abbreviated, so this is abbreviated. Could still be moolah. I mean, we got these crossings here, so maybe we can use that to figure out. Visibly afraid. Still don't know. Kind of collar. Could be flea collar. It's blowing in the wind. Could be a lot of things. It's not answer, but yeah. Okay. The master, builder, playwright. Is this Aesop? Probably. Word that's often shortened to its middle letter in texts. That should be R. So maybe bro is still right. Yeah, ideal instrument for shaping wood surfaces. Is this, I think, plane? Model plane. Yep. Okay. So, plane is a woodworking tool. And then model is the plane, because like model plane is a phrase. But yeah, that's your actual tool there. Interesting. I am what I am. Okay, so it's not Aesop. It's, I don't know this one. Yeah, Aesop didn't write plays. He wrote fables. It's just the master builder sounded like, you know, it could be a lesson. The master builder works all the time. Girlfriends in Madrid, amigas. It's not like literal girlfriends. It's like friends who are girls. Or I don't know. Maybe that's also the term for girlfriend. Sister network of Paramount for short. Is that TMC? That would then work where scratch was not money, but it's claw at, which then maybe gives us back armor. But then, yeah, this is, yeah, armor's wrong. This is ashen, is visibly afraid. You get pale. But then claw at is probably wrong. Scratch. Claw on. Okay, well, let's put that as TMC. Is that anything? AMC. No, that's like a theater company. Is it also a channel? Someone's yelling at the TV right now, but gosh, I'm taking that all out. But ashen gives me something. It could still be long arm. Don't know this bird one. But yeah, this does seem to confirm the what a tool thing. Comfort could be ease. I talked about that before. Yeah, I'm spending too much time in this section. Let's keep rolling. Let's get more answers. I do feel like this is claw. Scratch. It's gotta be. Yeah, I just don't know. Oh, this is some sort of note, right? Yeah, and then the bird is a tit. That's a type of bird. Long ago is Aegis? Aegis? Is that protection? And then, yeah, this is a treasury note. So it is claw at. Protection backing or support of a particular person or organization. And in classical art and mythology, an attribute of Zeus and Athene, or the Roman counterparts, Jupiter and Minerva. Speaking of Jupiter, hold on, I gotta stop talking when I still have water to drink. I have been reading about Roman history. That's how I learned about that Greek isthmus thing, because of course Roman history overlaps a lot with Greek history. So I now have a full name for my cat, because I was reading about in Rome, the first temple there was the temple to Jupiter Optimus Maximus, which means Jupiter the best and greatest, which is a funny translation in English because like we use best and greatest to mean the same thing, but in this case greatest means like the largest, like Jupiter is the best and has the greatest stature. Why doesn't Jupiter, the largest of the gods, simply eat the other gods? So based on Jupiter Optimus Maximus, I'm now calling my cat Juniper Optimus Minimus, which means Juniper the best and tiniest. All right. Bit of Grillmaster's attire is apron. We don't have any themed ones down here. I'm just trying to close it out. Compose is right. We're cooking. Falls short, say, is probably loses. Because then hole puncher is owl. I never know how to pronounce that word. Reason to consider something favorable. Yeah, that would be pro. And then this is that. So, area of greatest danger. Something lines. I don't know. And I don't know who this playwright is. So we don't have much to work off if we want to keep just like building on this. But yeah. Kind of collar. So it's not flea. Yeah, I don't know. Blown in the wind. Probably. Oh, it's like a weather vane. So what is this? General Motors subsidiary. OnStar. I didn't know that was a General Motors thing. Launches. I feel like it's like starts, not actually like launches. Oh, starts fits. Is Eton, is that like what like Shakespeare had? That seems right. It's really awesome movement for ensuring stability. Okay, so that's level. Is it just next level? Could be. Is this ALS? No. Llama's head. So L's, because the head of the word llama is 2 L's. So it's L. Pecan chocolate. Why did I say it like that? Pecan chocolate caramel candy. That's turtle, right? I think it is. Okay, I think next level is wrong. Yeah. But level's definitely the tool for ensuring stability. Protrudes, I think, is juts. Unfortunate situations is, I don't know. London's Underground is the Tube. Is it just best level? Is that a phrase? Best level? I know level best. But yeah. Boss level. And then like boss is weird slang, but it is slang for like something that's really good. Okay, boss level is pretty good. Unfortunate situations. Ills. I should have this. Area of greatest danger. What would it be if it's AMC? Aroma lines. What would it be if it's TMC? I think I'm thinking TCM, Turner Classic Movies. Is TMC a thing? frost lines. Front lines? Yeah, front lines. So Ibsen is the playwright. That makes sense. Yeah, front lines are places of danger. Large catch of fish, say. I have no idea. I don't know anything about fishing. One who may have stormed the beaches at Normandy in brief. Is like army vet. It's something. Let's go back to this. Drill component. I want to say that the tools are always at the end, but we only have 2. Because looking at 24, I did think that was jigsaw. But jig is clearly at the beginning. So then what goes with jig? There's ills, unfortunate situations. That seems weird. Something's wrong here. Well, CD bar is a dive, so this area is good. Let's go around that. Auto on the Autobahn. Oh, this is World War II vet. Because that's going to be BMW. Acknowledgement of applause, maybe. Would be a bow. Do we have anything on our drill component yet? Well, it's going to be bit. Is it a bit? A bit. I don't know. Something root. U.S. Secretary of War received a Nobel Peace Prize. I have no idea on that. Cube. Okay. This is going to be like quite. Yeah, because if it's briskets and pork ribs would be barbecued. So this is going to be like, yeah, like quite a bit maybe. Yeah, because this is Mulan. Yeah, I think it's quite a bit. Yeah, because you could say like something that's quite a bit something, but it's also like that would be quite a bit. Really spectacular drill component. Yeah, this is just like a name. You know what? I bet this guy's in my book. I bet. Okay, we want historical figures, right? No, there's another section for military people. Page 73. Oh, this would be so awesome if he's in here. Military people. Oh, this is a really short section. Yeah, there's just aide de camp, NCO, and Poilu. Okay. Well, maybe in politicians. Adlai Stevenson, once again, Chicago names in here. Dwight Eisenhower. What are we looking? We're looking for Root is the last name. I should see if this book has like an index. Okay. Yeah, and maybe he's not military. I mean, he is a military person. He's a Secretary of War, but he's also a peace person. Places. Okay, but it's definitely going to be in the... Okay, 68 takes us back to historical figures. Wyatt Earp. Just reading out loud, so I'm making noise. Lance Ito, he's from Wisconsin. I forget where. Probably Kenosha. It's under historical figures. American lawyer and statesman and recipient of the Nobel Peace Prize in 1912, Elihu Root. I'm sure I'm pronouncing that name wrong. This book saved me. It doesn't even mention being Secretary of War. Fascinating. Place is lieu, in lieu of, in a while maybe. Hang on a sec, because that can be BRB, and that's why it's in quotes. Feeling remorse for is probably ruin. This can be Libra across. Yeah, sign of justice is Libra. Lead up to a ski jump in rut, probably. Let me look at the actual down clue. Tidbit popular in Thai cuisine. I don't know. What is a tidbit in terms of food? Who knows? Hobbled in gamer slang. I want to say noob. No. It's like made weaker. It's nerfed. I feel like hobble is a weird word for that, but that's fine. What are you doing, Nick? weird clues, weird ways of expressing things. I still don't know that Thai one. And I don't know a whole bunch, despite being only 3 letters. Okay, so large catch of fish is net full, so unfortunate situations was ills. I'm gonna be honest with you, Nick Offerman, I hope you're not watching this, because I've heard you're a really nice guy. I love you in all the stuff you've done. My favorite thing that you've done is just the Yule log thing, where it's just you sitting in front of a fire looking at a camera drinking whiskey. I always put that on Christmas. So if you're watching, I'm sorry. I think some of these clue and answer combos aren't that good, Nick. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. REO Speedwagon, we know that one. Looking at this long. Artisanal brewers offerings. Yeah, I don't know. A whole bunch is probably a lot. I do like the Thai one because it's just stumping me, and I do like to work hard for these. Noted chairman. Is this you, Nick? You're a noted chairman. You like to carve chairs. Lock up. This is my curse. I just talked shit on the puzzle. Now I'm going to get total blanks on this last section. Yeah, lock up could be a noun or a verb. In this case, it seems like a noun, but what would that be? I don't know. Joseph Conrad novel made into a 1965 film starring Peter O'Toole. Gosh, I don't know. All right, so now we are just going to do ones that are not even connected to anything. Middling grade is going to be like a C plus probably, or a D plus. We'll check in a sec. Spots for solar panel roofs. That's a word, right? It's not like roofs. I'll have to look in the book. Tell me what the plural of roof is. Midwest city known as the rubber capital of the world. How would I possibly know that? I want to say Omaha just because that's one that comes up a lot. But looking at 13 down, that's going to be a big crossword ease. That's going to be SSN. Something usually kept private for short. Yeah. And 12 is going to be UFO. Oh, so this is going to be Akron. I don't think I knew that about Akron. So 11 noun is Lord something. Oh, this one's craft beers. So lot is wrong. So a whole bunch is probably mob. There's craft beers. Lockup is the pokey. Oh my gosh, is this one just jiggity jig? Like, the jig is the one for cutting shapes, and then jiggity is like the description of it. I hope so. But then I'd like, something's wrong here. But if that's true, you won me back. You won me back, Nick. Okay, Ira Glass is This American Life. And then noted chairman, I don't know, like, is the novel Lord Jim? Fury is ire. Grand old time in slang. It's a gag. I had a gag. Ugh. I got this. I talked all this shit, and then I'm not even gonna be able to solve this. What is it, Lord Jim? Yeah, I know. I knew it was wrong. Ruin seems right. Yeah, this is just, that's nothing. Like, I'm just gonna look up this word that I have, and it's gonna tell me it's nothing. Oh, of course, antithymocyte globulin. Of course, an infusion of horse or rabbit-derived antibodies. Yeah, so we know that one's wrong. But all of these seem right. Like, Libra seems right. Is it in run? Quite a bit seems right. Nerf is right. Whole bunch this could be something else. Gob. Okay. Yeah, I don't think oh. Is it something just like egg? Ant egg? That can't be a thing. But run could work there. But yeah, this whole section's, I just don't know. I'm just never gonna know that. So let's look up Joseph Conrad. Did he do Heart of Darkness? Heart of Darkness. Okay, it is Lord Jim. So that one's fine. We might just have to use the check tool. Lord Jim. Serial. Abandonment of a passenger ship in distress by its crew, including a seaman named Jim. Okay, so that's cool. Okay, we're just using the check tool. I've been at this for 25 minutes plus the lead in. So, gosh, it's just the one. Grand old time in slang. What would it be before besides gag? Gas. It's a gas. I should add 3 people to my subscription. Like and subscribe and comment if you want to share a time subscription with me. Okay, let's read the story of this. In the field of sociolinguistics, research referred to the observer's paradox, which describes how efforts to observe natural speech patterns are inevitably influenced by participants' awareness that they are being studied. Does this feel like they're intentionally using really big words here? I think so. I posit the solver's paradox with regard to today's crossword, constructed by Christina Iverson and Nick Offerman, yes, that one, in their collaboration debut. Impressions of the puzzle will inevitably be influenced by an awareness of who constructed it. This really is a terrific puzzle. I can't prove that hiding the puzzle maker's name wouldn't change my assessment, but this isn't a sociolinguistic experiment. It's crossword, and I loved it. That's not really an answer for how Nick Offerman ended up being here. Maybe it's still in here. The theme clue in today's puzzle begins with words of praise. 78 asks for a really spectacular drill component, and 36A hints at a truly awesome implement for insurance stability. The first clue solves quite a bit, yuck yuck, and the second solves to boss level. This on its own would make for satisfying classic theme format a pattern of common terms and phrases cleverly played upon their clues, but apparently there's more, which I missed. But Mr. Offerman and Miss Iverson didn't stop there. They gave us a punchline, 59 across, using an insult that reads like a compliment. What a tool. I trust you can solve the remaining entries with the tools you have available, but if not, you can reveal them below. Okay, so that wasn't a twist. That was what I got. Still, it doesn't... Okay, it'll be there. Because, yeah, this said, like... Oh, no, it's just information about the making of today's puzzle. I think they just put that to draw attention to, like, hey, everyone, if you didn't notice, it's Nick Offerman. I don't want to read this whole thing. How about I just scroll slowly and you can pause the YouTube? Because that's a lot of text. And I've been talking for a while. Thanks for watching. Stay safe.